Hello, hello. Hey, Sinistello. All right, let's change this. Today, Adam is going to stream for only streaming for a couple of hours this afternoon due to how long the morning stream went. The goal is to continue. Well, the goal is to improve the launch sequence into space and generally improve the Metroidvania game. Hopes to make progress on the launch sequence into space. Okay, cool. Hello, good sir. Hello, Galaxy Inferno. And Sinistello and anyone else who might be present right now. So this morning we left off with a couple of these AI conversations I need to go look at. Let's also see where we're at here. 80 and 64. The 5-hour one's going to reset in 6 minutes. So yeah, we practically have infinite use out of Luna. There's apparently something you can do here. How do you do this? Oh, interesting. Output detail. Reasoning summary. Available reasoning efforts. Yeah, here we go. Max. You need to apparently pick. I did not realize that. Yeah, there we go. So now I should have access to Luna Max. Yep, there it is. It's being blocked by my camera right now, but yeah, Max. I don't know how good it is. I don't know what it's useful for because I never had access to it because I didn't realize I needed to check a box. Hey, Stan. Welcome in. All right, let's start with this because it'll be a little easier, I think. Cause floor block on wall. False. Allow the ground and knight to climb. Oh, interesting. Is this true for everybody? Floor block on wall. Well. Yeah, so we gotta set this to true probably everywhere. And the only other one is the goblin. All right, let's go test this. I don't have any copies of the game open, right? No, let me close out of this stuff. Quit. This should ask me if I want to confirm the deletion. Yep, there we go. All right. Let's try it out. It remembers that I did not have it full screen, but it thinks that it was. I don't know, something was a little bit weird there. In fact, I should probably write that down. Yeah, that seemed weird. Okay, just gonna randomly write this. Bug. I had the game in full screen, set it to windowed, and then closed it. When I reopened it, the game was in windowed mode as expected, but the settings thought it was in full screen. We probably just need to update the dropdown. That's my guess. Since it feels like the save setting was correct. Man, it is just so weird to me still to think this issue that I just wrote down now, that I just found myself, is something that I will eventually probably just copy paste what I wrote here into AI and it'll just be fixed. And it's like, it wouldn't, if my hunch is correct that this is literally just a drop down needs to be updated, it's not that hard to fix myself. But what if it's some like weird windowing mechanic with, I don't know, whatever, anyway, doesn't matter. I guess if there's a weird windowing mechanic, it would not be fixed in 5 minutes from AI either. But it might be, who knows? All right, so we are testing that the knight walking against the ledge doesn't get stuck in weird ways. Yeah, I don't see anything weird happening. Oh, okay. That's a little weird. Yeah. So it can still happen. And then it stops, and then... Oh, strange. Oh, I get this to happen again. Oh, there we go. All right. I like that in itself. Okay, so this still screenshot above. Seems that I have to inch toward the night from the right side and find the sweet spot where this can occur. I'm guessing it's some state the night has that's changing constantly. Or maybe it has to do with line of sight being blocked by the platform every other frame. Figure out what's wrong and fix it. Yeah. All right, unfortunately, this is on a local branch right now. So let's go push this onto a work tree. And that way, I don't need to worry about any of this stuff, huh? So that's all gone. Nice. That is very good to know about. All right, now we come back to this. This is where I am a bit worried because I don't expect this to look good. But I'm very intrigued. We've gotten rid of the shader. We're just using particles now. We also have the smoke graphic. There is some quality level I'll be okay with that is not 100%, maybe like 80%. But before I would have argued it was at like 20 or 30%. So let's see, what's the quality now? Okay, honestly, it's better. Yeah, it's better. I'd say it's at maybe 40% or something. Okay, so the smoke is barely visible. Let's go look at that in freeze frame. Or frame by frame. Just going frame by frame? Oh, yep, it is. Can't really see any movement. All right, so smoke more frequently. Probably larger puffs of smoke. Yeah, the tiles getting destroyed look really good. They're just going down into the right. I think they need to have even higher horizontal velocity. And then there's a section where there are almost none. Maybe it's due to the camera movement. Yeah, I think it's the camera catching up. Okay, so there's a puff of smoke. So I want to, what do I want to do? Like quadruple the amount of smoke that shows up from this? And exploded tiles should always show particles. Yeah, it's like there's a long amount of time where no particles seem to be showing up. So I think the particle pool is probably not big enough. That's my guess. All right, so what do we want? Like quadruple the smoke. Make particles always show up. The particles look pretty good, and then give the particles more horizontal velocity. I think that would be better. Particle pool capacity. All right, what are we putting into this pool? Dungeon particles. Is this an array of... Yeah, GPU particles 2D. Okay, that's the problem here. We want to have like 50 of these. Smoke pool capacity, yeah, let's do 40 of those. Smoke chance is currently about 1/8. I think 0.4. And smoke scale should vary a little bit. Let's start with that. And then what about horizontal velocity? Velocity. Angular. No, there's none of that stuff. All right, maybe we have a scene here. Debris shard. Huh, I wonder what this looks like. Where's the preview? Isn't there a preview button somewhere? Apparently not. Well, we can just open this in Chrome. Where is... Oh my god, come on. Reveal in Finder. Yeah, that's totally visible. Yeah, nice. All right, that's good. That's fine. It's just a jagged shape. That's all we needed. I guess it's kind of like asteroids. So the only thing I'm missing now is where we make a GPU particles 2D, and that's, I think, where we customize all of the curves that we have here. So velocity, angular velocity, scale. Where do we make a new GPU? Yep, here it is. I don't do anything special with this. Interesting. Dungeon particles. These are pools themselves. So we get this. Find available. Particle index. We get an emitter from that. We don't ever customize the emitter. That must mean that we customize it ahead of time. But I didn't see any customizations there. Yeah, all I see is this stuff. That's strange. How would this even work then? Because we're controlling the rotation through here. Oh my God. All right, well, still something needs to control how this is emitting. Where does that happen? GPU particles 2D. All right, what is this? Process material. Yeah, it's all the stuff in here. Animated velocity, directional velocity. Yeah, we just never touch this. That was strange to me. Process materials applies the small vertical variation through its spread. Where do we customize the spread? Huh, strange. Unless they're all in here. They are all in here. All right. Well, that answers that question. So we've got some particles. I don't like that at all. I don't like this at all. Ooh, this is weird. Hey, Tyrant King. Things are going pretty well here. How you doing? Yeah, these should be made through code. Or maybe just one should be made through the scene, and then the other should be duplicated. Yeah, I think I would like that. Because this has... Wow. It says literally just directional velocity. And we don't customize this at all. Chilling. All right, nice. What games have you been playing lately? All right, let's change this right over here. So... I only want launch.tscn to how do I want to say this? To define a single particle emitter. Are these all the same? They might all be the same. It's going to be really hard to compare them. Unless these are all the exact same resource, in which case I guess there's not really a problem. Well, we can find out. Desert particle 0. So this has a process material of this. Ah, yeah, they all do use the same one. Okay, so defining another one of these doesn't really matter. So to define a single dungeon-based GPU particles 2D and a single desert-based GPU particles 2D. That way the scenes don't... Yeah. The copies should be made through code. Okay, there we go. SMP Minecraft thing. Been playing that a ton. SMP, is that survival multiplayer? Hey again, Matavi. I think you asked a question before we left. Oh yeah, and I think I answered you via text. I don't know if you saw the answer, but the answer was just itch combined with a real artist and not me. Yeah. Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think custom stream improvements are always really nice. I don't do a lot of them myself, just 'cause I never really focus on the stream too much. It's always focusing on just the game dev aspect. But I want to make at least another stream game at some point. Haven't played Minecraft in a while. I wonder how much has changed since I last played. Then again, every time I go back, I'm always trying to play like I was playing during, I don't know, like 15 years ago and not really learn any of the new stuff. All right, so this is a good change here. Only want this to define a single dungeon-based GPU particle as a single desert-based one. The extra instance should be made through code. And then increase the horizontal velocity of the particles emitted from any of those GPU particles 2D. They should move faster to the side of the screen. You go check things off. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun to make progress on that stuff too. Yeah. I already feel like I don't know, stretched thin enough. Like I was kind of mentioning this earlier. I stream for about like 6 hours a day on long days and 3 hours on short days. In the week, it's not like the stream time is too much. Stream time is fine. That's manageable. But then there's more work that happens outside of that. There's just normal life obligations, social obligations, etc. To the point where if I wanted to put in a little bit more time improving things or developing the game off stream, I probably could fit in another few hours somewhere. I think one of my concerns that I have with this is like I want the stream to be good. It doesn't need to be great. And any work I do outside of it can detract from the stream. So it's like I don't want to ruin my real work with extra work. And in general, I think that's probably a good idea for me at least. Because yeah, I do have limits here. And like I worked for a decent amount extra yesterday, and now I'm feeling a little bit tired today, but yeah. Still in concept stages for it. Yeah, there are a lot of paid products around that space. So I guess if you wanted to monetize it, it's probably an easy enough route. Short and long days meaning exactly that. Like today's Wednesday, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do 6 hours, and Tuesday and Thursday, I do 3 hours. And in the afternoons, I do any extra work that I might need to do. It was originally intended to be things like, oh, I'll make YouTube videos or something, but I haven't made YouTube videos in a while, or at least not non-live ones, like pre-recorded ones. All right, let's go see what else is on the list. We certainly have a very large list here. So this is still happening. This is done. Oops, that's not the symbol I meant to use. And this is done. Nights, the jittering, is that done yet? Is on wall is only a report from the previous movement slide. The knight sees the wall, stops for one frame, then the zero velocity slide clears that report. Okay. Yeah, hopefully this ends up working fine. All right. So we're working on that. Launch sequence. Background fill when leaving the dungeon should be a gradient going to transparent on top. Entering this from another game causes some screen flashes. We eventually need to hide this behind a loading screen. Now may be the time to do so. Let me go take a look at that. I really shouldn't have had this run on this branch. I should have stopped this and run this somewhere else. Although this really shouldn't take that long to do. So if we just go into here, do we see any flashes? No, but it's because we start with the screen black and then it fades in. If you go to a different game, I think cheating into this, you will see flashes. No, we still fade in, and I did not see a flash there. Maybe it's only the very first time you go into it. I am not certain. So we're here. We go into the other game. No, I'm not seeing flashes anymore. Maybe it was caused by the shader that we were using before. I don't know. It really could be anything. Whoops. You know, this game has no way of leveling the difficulty. What's going on? The goblin just stopped chasing. Oh, they stop chasing when they lose sight of you? Wait, then how do they walk around? Something's wrong with goblins now. Yeah. They only pursue you when they have line of sight. This is not correct. Oh, man. This is working this morning. Let's go see. Yeah, it's not working anymore. I must have changed something. Anyway, a thought that had crossed my mind, I don't know if I actually vocalized, was difficulty is a little bit weird with this game in that there's not a lot that we do to try to make it easier for you. When you die, you keep all your items that you had, but like there's only so powerful that you get. So it's not like, oh, well, you have 100 life, you get 3 life. And if a room is too difficult for you, I guess you wouldn't move past it. I don't think any of them are going to be that hard. So I don't think anyone's going to get stuck for too long. This thing isn't even attacking me now. What is going on? Oh, this is the broken is what it is. All right, so goblins aren't following anymore. Got to fix that. Goblins don't hunt you down after losing line of sight like they used to. This might just be because I'm in a... No, wait, no. I'm in the branch about revamping the debris. That's a big boy. Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to jump past him. Or, sorry, you're not supposed to be able to jump over him without there being a platform. So the idea for that one is... Let me show this. The idea for this one is that you're supposed to stand like here or so and get him to move over to this platform. This is a glitched branch because I already fixed this in a different branch. I haven't merged this in yet. But anyway, so if we move him a little bit closer, you can now jump over him and teleport and make it to the other side. And on your way back, you'll have bomb arrows, and you can just shoot him with a bomb arrow and he'll die. But yeah, you get the bomb arrows through here. Some things that are inconsistent and broken and odd over iterations. Yeah, I wonder how much has to do with using Luna, and I wonder how much has to do with I just branched off of something old here. All right, scene now defines exactly one of these. Runtime code duplicates it. Increased particle velocity. I wonder where that was. 1200. How did I not see this? Oh, initial velocity. Oh, I was looking at directional velocity. This is actually something that's a little bit... this is just a Godot issue that I have. And it's not even a problem. It's just an issue. I guess it's a problem. But it's a problem with my understanding. Which is that these process materials have a lot of properties. And I just haven't memorized all of them. So yeah, spawn has a velocity. I didn't realize. I was looking at directional velocity. Because there's a whole lot of these. I didn't make any of the art. Any service, who's Luna? Luna is just one of the models that Codex gives access to, and it's their like practically free one. Quickie Joe made the artwork for this stuff though, and that's the same art that's on this hoodie. Not the one that you see on screen, but the splash screen is what's on the hoodie. All right, let's try this out. Okay, yes, this is what I was thinking. That is pretty much what I wanted. Now, maybe we change the directions a little bit, but yeah, this is the visual effect that I wanted. And the smoke should be more obvious. Let me make the smoke more obvious. Where is the smoke chance? There it is. All right, smoke pool capacity is 8. Didn't I increase this? Yeah, I increased this like 40. I think that's the problem. Let's see if 40 is enough. And then maybe we want to vary where exactly the smoke goes. All right, yes, perfect. I think the smoke is looking good there. Maybe we even make it a tiny bit more of a chance to show up. I don't know how much of the pool we're using. We have to, yeah, here, emit smoke. I want to figure out how many are in use at any given time. Smoke ages. Oh, man. All right. This is going to be a little bit difficult to figure out. I guess we can just go test it again. Hey, Goose. Player might need some headache meds after that. It's only like a 7-second sequence. You're seeing it quite a lot here. I will see how playtesters react to this. Smoke needs to be a little bit darker maybe too. Okay. We also have to fix this problem, whatever this is. It has an unexpected pool size. What is that? Debris. Ready. Should be an exception here. Here it is. Smoke pool capacity is 40. Smoke sprites dot length is pulled from what the scene. Get sprite pool. This is stupid. Yeah, this is stupid. This is why we're not seeing any difference here. So yeah, we only have 8 smoke graphics. And what are they just randomly? Yes, they are. Okay. I don't like that. But this took 7 minutes to do, and I don't want to take the time to do this. So let's put this back in a work tree for a sec. So similarly, we should only define the 2 unique smoke graphics and then create the other instances through code. Yeah. Yeah, I think it would look a little bit better in person. When I look back at the YouTube video, it's blurrier, that's for sure. Hey Strudel, have you heard about open code? Seems to be a free open source AI to use. So I don't think open code is free, although they might have a free tier, but I actually did sign up for open code and downloaded the app. So I'm on the $5 a month thing right now. It's going to be $10 next month. But I'm not actually really using it. And I got to figure out if I wanted to use it. I don't know. You know, we mentioned this earlier, and I'll Twitch that even said this. Like, I really should just probably switch to the $100 a month plan for this, so that I don't have to keep thinking about like, am I using Luna? Am I introducing flaws in the software? I should just use what I want to use, and if it costs a little more money, then so what? All right, let's go try this again. Yeah, let's try this. As long as it's not jittering, it should be okay. Can also just locally host. You mean like run my own AI model? Because I think the speed would be too slow for what I'm expecting. All right. This thing isn't even chasing me anymore. This is fully broken. Man. I'm very surprised about this. Like, it just does a bad job sometimes. Oracle Cloud, what models are you running though? Because, I mean, there are fast models, but then I think typically you're trading off with the sort of intelligence of the model. Let me close all this stuff. I'll try this one more time. I see. Yeah, not for code heavy projects. Yeah, yeah, I guess it all does come down to how you use it. So this thing doesn't even chase you anymore. Unless I'm facing left. Then it works again. It's very weird that this doesn't work when you first enter this game. Now it's chasing me. Maybe it's only when I approach from above. Wow, I'm jumping now. Yeah. Yeah, something messed up. I think it gets into a weird state afterward. Yeah, once I move beyond this thing, it just stops moving. This is very unfortunate. All right, well. Depending on how I approach, the knight just stops moving altogether. I think it's when I move into a position that causes, yeah. Move left and right, and the knight won't pursue me. Okay, C now only contains this stuff. Let's go try that. All this is going to do is make this look a lot smokier than it was, which is what I wanted. I don't know, about 5 times smokier. We need to figure out the right amount. But this is one of those, just test it, add the number. If it's not enough, subtract it if it's too much. Hey, we know that it's got to be somewhere between 8 and 40. And there's no perfect answer here. It's just whatever looks good enough. Yeah, so like there's more smoke coming out of that now. Was that good? I think it looks good in the dungeon section because the smoke is light enough that you can see it. So yeah, even with this paused right now, you can see the smoke in the background. Then once we get to the desert section, or even this section, it's like, well, now you can't see it anymore. You kind of can. So what I think we need to do is expand it a bit. We should randomize the scale between what it currently is and maybe roughly double the size, and also move the position a little bit. Yeah, let's do both those things. And I'll just do those by hand because I don't think it's too crazy. Launch scale equals 0.25. There it is. So we'll call this min smoke scale and max smoke scale. And I said what, double? So 0.5. So now we search for smoke scale. Here it is. Oh, we already multiplied by 0.9 to 1.1. Okay, so let's just multiply by this up to 2. And then we don't have any change we need to make. All right, so there was that. And then the position of it, I'd also like to randomize a little bit. Where is the position? There it is. we randomized it by 3 pixels in either direction. I want it to be up to like maybe not 15, maybe 10. And the random y coordinate doesn't make sense to do it all. It's always going to be where a tile is. Oh, maybe it does make sense. All right, so now I'll have larger smoke puffs. Now, every once in a while, I comment that it looks like I'm belaboring something. I think it's worth putting in the effort to this. This is meant to be one of those, like, what just happened? It's meant to be one of those shocking moments in the game. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Yeah. All right. Wow. So we're going to go check that in. We just need to review it. So the entire debris class changed. I'll look at that separately then. Space launch changed barely at all. That's fine. What is that? Yeah, layers. Yep, that's fine. This is now a much simpler scene too. Launch.tscn. Good, good, good. That's all good. And that's fine for now. I have a different parallax problem I got to fix. And that's everything. So all I need to do is look at this file. Launch destroys tiles much faster than normal gameplay effects. So this intentionally uses a small fixed pool of one-shot GPU emitters instead of creating a particle node for every cell. When the pool is full, the newest burst is skipped. Oh, I did not take a look too closely at that. Are we emitting enough particles for how many tiles are being exploded? Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think it's fine. Oh, I really like the bigger smoke there. I think it looks really good. We could maybe even make it just a touch bigger. This is so cool. Yeah, it's really cool. Oh yeah, tiny bit bigger. Yeah, just a little bit. 2.4. All right, not even going to test it. That's fine. Let's look through this pretty quickly. So create particle pool. What's this doing? Get the template. Make a new one of these. We don't copy over its material because we don't know it yet. Easy. And what is duplicate? Built-in Godot thing? Yeah, built-in Godot thing. And this is all prepared ahead of time, right? Init is called from space launch debris.init. Init this. This should be done ahead of time. Prepare space shooter. This is as soon as you enter backtracking platform. Yeah. But it should only be when you are playing as player. Yep, it is. Perfect. So if I were to restart this and try playing a sidekick, it should go into the game pretty much instantly, right? I'm not talking about this part. I'm talking about when I press the button here. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fast. It's not anything that you would balk at and say like, oh my God, the loading time is too long. It's like, it's 200 milliseconds or something. Yeah. I really like how this is shaping up. All right, what haven't I looked at in here? This is the wrong file. Here. Thanks, Pickle. Yeah. I don't know what people's intro to this game is going to be. I think it's probably going to be sort of similar to what Undertale would be for people, where they see someone playing or they hear their friend talking about it and they're like, okay, I'll go get it. But I really hope someone doesn't watch a streamer play the whole game and then they're like, oh, now I'll go play. And they're like, oh, I already know everything that's going to happen. Maybe you'll watch someone play the game and then you'll want to show it to a friend, so you'll buy it and have them play it. That could be interesting. But yeah, this is the problem with making games that aren't really replayable. And why the next game I make will probably be something that aims for a lot of replayability. Because yeah, if you watch someone else play a replayable game, then you might want to play that game. But I've heard of friends who are like, oh yeah, I watched a streamer play Breath of the Wild and now I don't want to go play that game. It's like, what? But yeah, once you've seen the puzzles or how they solved them, it's like, well, now you just know that forever, or at least until you forget, which might take a year or two if you just watched it. And yeah, you can't experience it from that fresh perspective anymore. Okay. Yeah, all in all, I think this is looking pretty good. Why is this yellow? Can you mark static? Sure. Actually, never play games, only watch people play games. Yeah, I guess I don't watch people play the games that I play. Has that always been true? No, I would watch Super Smash Bros. Back when I played Smash Bros. But I think that was the only game, really. Maybe Hearthstone. Like, I watch StarCraft 2, I don't play it. I watch Hearthstone, I don't play it. I play the finals and Slay the Spire, I don't watch either of those games. I still watch Smash. You watch people play the game after you played the game yourself? I only do it if I want to kind of ruin the game for myself. And sometimes I do want to do that because I've been playing too much. So, like, what's a good example? I don't know, like Diablo 2, this isn't watching people, but I would cheat like way back when it came out and get like a super powerful character or something. And that way it would ruin the fun for me a little bit. And I'd be like, all right, I've broken the spell. I can now quit playing the game. Quit in quotes, because you never really quit those games. You just take extended breaks. Oh, this should not happen. Yeah, we don't want to name things here. When you name something, you have to create string names out of them. Yeah, this is happening here too. I don't want this. Hey, Hamster Hammer. And hey, other hamster, Hamster Jedi. Now we just need someone named Jedi Hammer to come in here. All right, let's check it in. Drastically improved debris effect. Getting a shader to work was too difficult, so we went the GPU particles 2D route. Also added in smoke graphics. I didn't look at, I've actually not really ever looked at this, where these graphics are going. Yeah, they're fine. I don't care too much about that. Okay, we will now go merge this. What is this thing called? Oh, what am I doing? Didn't I already make something for this? Did I make like merge codecs? Takes a second. I think it's this one, but I'm just going to cancel out of this. I'll just do this the way that I'm definitely not going to screw this up. Git switch main, git merge this. Cool. Okay, now, Night Pursuit. What are we looking at? Fix the overcorrection. Previous fix permanently blocked pursuit when the platform interrupted line of sight even before physically reached. Now it does this stuff. Okay, let's go try that. Why did you not want to name things? Oh, so a couple things. One, setting the name in Godot. So like, let's say we go look at platform player. And let's say we just say name equals, yeah, player. Okay, so two things. One is this is a string name, which is an object. which has an implicit string conversion. And you can see this right here. When you pass in a string, it creates a new thing here. So this is an allocation. Any allocation eventually needs to be deallocated, which means that the garbage collector runs. And the more things you allocate that you're not expecting to like later have to deallocate pretty much, it's like, well, you might cause a lag spike for 20 milliseconds and now someone feels a frame stutter. So that's one problem. The second problem is that setting this is a native call into Godot. So it's not nearly as fast as just like setting a string on the C# side of things. And the third problem is that there's just no real use for it. It's like the only way that this really matters, there are two reasons, and both have to do with debugging. One is you're in the debugger and you're looking at a node and you're like, which node is this? So you print out node.name. And the second is that you're looking at the remote view of Godot. And I'll show you this right here. Just let that run. Okay, so we're on the title screen right now. So if we go to remote, we can see main has the title screen. And you can see a lot of these things are named already. That's fine. These are named through the scenes. That's okay. But if we're like, what is this thing? It's like, well, just look at the scene and find out what this thing is. We don't need to name this like background color or something like that. So what we have is a bunch of smoke graphics that are now not named smoke 1, smoke 2, smoke 3. And who cares? Like you'll look at the scene and you'll be like, oh yeah, that's smoke. So yeah. There's a cleaning job done. Maybe it's gone from glass half empty to glass completely full all the time. And it's like, your place is just clean enough. Terrible playing my own games. It took me about an hour and 22 minutes. Are you just saying you think that's slow? Because usually the developers of games will be much faster than players will be. So if you are even somewhat representative of players by feeling like you're slow, then that probably means that people will get a decent amount of playtime out of it. Hey, Merritt. So merged chat, which changed a bit ago. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah, I will delete that. And thank you for pointing that out. Merge codex is some quick thing that I wrote. .NET tools. Did I make a repo for this? I must have, right? Code AI. Ah, there it is. Merge codex. Yeah, this is something pretty simple. Well, let me just do get remote -v here. Is this public? Is this public? Public. Oh yeah. All right. I'll just link it to you. Merge codex. Merge codex is a quick tool that Adam wrote. Well, Adam vibe coded. To, I guess, like squash codex work trees into, like, back into the local working, or like working copy. Yeah. House is never clean. I doubt the dog thinks that. Anyway, yeah, it sounds like it's time to fix the Roomba or get a new one. All right, I already have this open, so let's go try it. Did I start a second one? I might have accidentally done that. Yeah, I did. Okay, well, let's close the first one. So now we only have the second one open. And we're going to go make sure knights work correctly. Died several times on bosses. But the players might die several times on bosses, right? Unless you're like reasonably confident that you're just really, really bad at the game, which, I mean, it is possible, but I think most developers get a lot of practice from playing their games. All right, this is looking good. Merge DG is what I'm calling it. Hey, Codex. All right, so is the jittering fixed? I think so. Yeah, it looks like it's fixed. Yeehaw. We did it. This is the only night in the game. Should probably add another couple. Yeehaw. I don't even know if this is necessary. All right, clear pursuit block. It's fine, but is there a blank space here? Direction is a floating point? And we probably only set this to like 0, -1, or 1. Direction, math f dot sign. Yeah, this is technically fine, but it also doesn't need to return a floating point. It returns an integer. Why? Well, this is an integer then, and we only ever set this to blocked pursuit direction, right? So why do we save it as a float? That's stupid. Yeah, that's really stupid. Int. Okay. All right, now it doesn't have to complain about that. All right, I think we're pretty good there. Yeah, nice. Fix night jittering. The night would get blocked by a platform and then start jittering. I'll just say, write me a commit message based that explains why the night was jittering originally and how we fixed it. This can just be medium. We don't need this to be some long drawn out process. No need to modify code or commit for me. Just output the message. Just want to make sure I get the right explanation here. Yeah, here. All right, now for the annoying part of formatting this. I don't know why Rider doesn't have this by default. VS Code does. All right, so line of sight rate could be blocked by a platform before its body reached the obstacle. This caused pursuit velocity to alternate between movement and stopping each physics frame. Pursuit now relies on physical wall and ledge detections. Line of sight rate is responsible for detection and attacks. Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good. So this was all inside fixed night pursuit jitter. We're on main. Wait, what? Did I? What did I just do? Oh, I'm in the wrong. Oh my God, that's why I was so confused. I'm in the wrong repo. Okay. Let's stop going nuts here. Yeah, nice. All right, so we have gotten done with the couple of things I wanted to get done with in the day. Well, I don't know. We could still improve things, but yeah, anything we do at this point is just gravy. Hey, Twitch Dog. I don't use the IDEs for Rider included. I really liked using it in VS Code. I thought it fit like my entire mental model perfectly there. Rider does things a little bit differently. You don't see files the same way here. Even the usability of the UI here is a little different from what I expect. And then commit message, like just everything VS Code did was perfect to me. Now, granted, whenever you have software like A, B, and C, and they all have different opinions on things, and you use A first, you'll probably like A best. Or like there's a better chance of you liking A best just because you're like, oh, that's the paradigm I got used to. And then some other program does something differently, and you're like, no. That's not the right way. A is the right way. It's not get specific. Yeah, but I mean, they could do something get specific if they wanted to, and then make it more suited for Git. And it's not bad. And there are some things that are actually slightly better about Rider with respect to source control. But yeah, I like VS Code for this stuff. All right, background fill when leaving the dungeon should be a gradient going to transparent on the top. Let's just go try this manually. This should be pretty simple to do. We have this gigantic rectangle. And I'm just going to change this to a, oh, you can't do that, can you? Okay, I said it should be pretty simple. It is apparently not. So there's color rectangle. There's no like gradient rectangle. Oh man. I mean, we could just make a shader that as we go upward, it turns into a gradient. But is that not possible by default? Color rectangle with gradient. Texture rectangle node. Yeah, texture rectangle with a gradient. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, honestly, having AI do all these tiny tasks with practically free models is pretty interesting now. Because what I've found, and probably many other people have found the same thing, I'm not saying I'm novel in finding this out, but there are a lot of like commands or documentation or like writing a commit message or something. Like these are things that even non-frontier AI can do almost perfectly. And maybe not documentation that's intense, but something like write a comment for this function sort of thing. Or yeah, commands, or find the git command to list out all the prune branches and do something with them. Yeah, that's all pretty simple. So yeah, I wonder how much more of my workflow will turn into that. Or I'm just like, okay, go do this thing. I almost wonder if you could, well, never mind. I'm not gonna go off the deep end here. All right, so change type to a texture rectangle and give it a gradient texture 1D. We need to change the direction of this, which I guess means rotating. That's too bad. Yeah, or we could do a gradient texture 2D and then do one of these. So this would work, but I should pick exactly the center points, which means I need to modify this inside the scene file to be able to do that. And then the colors we need to change to be black and black but transparent. So we do that. And then we can pick where we want the transparency to start and end. So I think we want it to be mostly dark for the bottom. So something like that. Let's go try that. Oh, wait, I gotta turn the visibility off on that. Come on. There. This might cause a breakage because it might be expecting a color rectangle, but I doubt it. We probably just never. Oh, that's strange. That's very strange. Yeah, I think it did break, which means we are expecting a color rectangle somewhere. Yeah, it can't cast. Where is this? Space launch. Space launch.cs. Color rectangle. This is now a texture rectangle. And we use it here. And all we do is set its visibility, right? Yeah. So we should be fine there. Yeah, that's what's that. Lengthy prompting that you might like. Although I guess Codex has something like that integrated now. I just like that it's local and I can use it anywhere. What is this? A free open source and extensible speech to text application that works completely offline. Yeah, Codex does have something like that built in now. And Codex actually also has that like real-time voice mode. Well, I don't know if it's meant to be used for, not Codex, sorry, ChatGPT has it. I don't know if it's meant to be used for coding or just randomly having something keep you company. All right, so what we're looking at here is, oh, wow, that was really cool. And that was also very fast. So maybe we want to slow this down a little bit, but let's go watch it on video so we can see it slower. So here's what we did. We changed the background from, oh, you can see the gray there. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good. Background fill in the dungeon doesn't go low enough, even without the space launch being considered. I'm on main, right? Yeah. We should see this directly in room 1. I don't see it here. That's not gray, is it? No. That's weird. Yeah, that's weird. Where's the video again? Maybe it was a problem with the recording? I don't think so, right? No. Strange. Anyway, here's what I was talking about. This black background gets lighter and lighter as you get into the sky. While I think this is decent, I don't think the timing is correct. Because you can see that it gets fully transparent, like right around here where you're still going through dungeon blocks. And then you don't make it to desert blocks until you get to well, like way higher. Yeah, right there. So I think what we can do is just extend this. Just drag this up to there. Okay, let's go try that. Oh yeah, you can clearly see a problem. The dark background is up here. So because we have 2 nodes named background fill, this is called dungeon fill. Oh, that should have been off. Did that solve the problem? Oh, that might have solved the problem. Why did it look like it was gray over here? Huh, weird. Someone with better eyes than me see different colors here. I guess what we could do is this. I could just put this into here and then try painting. And if we paint the same color. Okay. What am I, how is this supposed to work? What is this tool that I'm using right now? Flood fill. Yeah, that's what I expect. Source current layer. Blend mode. What are these colors then? Set background. Yeah, so this is, I know I'm an idiot when it comes to art programs, but like, how do I just paint blue in the background? Because when I try changing the color, it like grayscales the whole thing. What am I doing wrong? I don't know how to undo that. There we go. I need to change this to foreground color. Set background. Set foreground. I don't know. I don't know how to use this. I should just stop using Affinity. I get mad every time I use this program. Or I should learn how to use Affinity. But like even basic things like this where I have an image and I'm just like, how do I color the background in a certain color? Like, does anyone know what I'm doing wrong? I feel like this should just be so. Oh wait, there's fill and there's flood fill. Is that the problem? No, this is not the problem. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Do I need to pick an area? I I need to look this up. Hey, Hepta. CRM style. Is that Salesforce? Yeah, yeah. You said recovered? Why did it drop in the first place? I'm not up to date on anything going on there. Figure out what the heck is supposed to happen with Affinity. Flood tool. Flood fill tool. I keep recoloring the entire layer. I feel like I should stop using this program altogether. Change the color shade of the whole image. Oh, thinking he destroyed because of AI, I guess. All right, let's just look it up really fast. When I try to use the flood fill tool in Affinity, it somehow changes the entire. I guess it doesn't actually change the entire thing. It's just because I'm changing the color here of the background. How do I pick the color? Can't figure out how to pick a color to fill. When I try to select a color, it changes either the entire background or entire foreground. I'm in pixel mode. Yeah, I am curious how this works. You are too stupid to use this software, Adam. This is alpha channel and RGB layers when exports. I've had a lot of like quirkiness here. In the color panel, find the two overlapping color circles and squares. Click the front one. Choose your color in the color panel. Click flood fill on a pixel layer. All right, what did I do wrong here? Select this with G. I've already done that. Now it says in the color panel. As far as I know, this is the color panel. But there's actually a panel over here. Oh my God, seriously? There's a whole other panel for this stuff? No, this is changing. Okay, I don't know. I don't care. I don't care. I am not going to do this. I'm just mad. I want to be mad. Yeah. Tried asking about this here, but I got too angry. All right, so we're going to try out this new rectangle that we have. I guess let's full screen this. Oh, it does mess up the flood bill. It needs to go lower down. I was not even paying attention. Wow, it's already done. I really should have been looking at that. Yeah, so as soon as you do this and launch, the flood fill, the bottom of this needs to go farther down. There we go. Yeah, I've used Paint.net as well. I liked also just regular MS Paint a while ago. From what I've heard, it's changed quite a lot. And then I used GIMP for a while, and I was actually okay with GIMP, but on Mac, there was this like just horrendous breaking bug where I would lose control of my mouse cursor entirely and then have to like restart my computer. And I was like, I'm not having this happen a fourth or fifth time or whatever it was. And yeah, I didn't find anyone else who'd like solve that problem or something. And it was so frustrating. Nothing quite like losing everything you're working on at once. All right, is this timed pretty well with the top of this thing? Yeah, we would end this a little bit sooner. Where's the absolute top? I have no idea though. I guess we just should press the we should pause the game as soon as we hit that point. That's what we should do. That'll let us figure this out. That is smart. So all we do is stop as soon as we get to the desert. There. Easy. Easy. All right, now we put Godot on my other monitor and the game on this monitor. And we go change the height of this. And we should see this change in real time over here. Yes, perfect. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to find the leading edge of this. This should make it a lot easier. I'm going to lower this down until we find the exact height this should be at. I think I did it. I think I found it. Yeah, so now I lower this down to here. Give me a sec. This is very difficult. Hang on. All right, there. Now we go try that. I looked up Photop the other day. That's the one that's in the browser, right? You have a general month or quarter you're targeting to release a game? Probably like a year or a year and a half from now. Because we've only been working on this for about 5 months. And I think there's still a long way to go. All right, that's it. That's the effect I wanted. Nice. We did it. Whew, okay, so turn this off. And then we just need to align these inside the scene file itself. So this needs to change. The x coordinates need to be exactly 0.5. Done. And I mean, this we can round. That saves people like 3 bytes. Not 3 bytes. Well, I mean, this is a scene file that it gets read from, so it actually is a character on disk. So it's actually probably 12 bytes or something, but then it gets compressed, so it doesn't matter. All right, so gradient texture, we got that now. Everything else is hopefully fine. Let's go take a look at the offset when you go to launch. I want to never touch this part again. Hopefully we'll just be done. All right, yeah, we're looking good there. All right, cool. Now we got to fix the sky. Cool, yeah, check it in. Check it in. Fix the dungeon background or improve the dungeon background when launching. It used to be a solid black rectangle, and I think it was slightly mispositioned so that the wait. Did I test that correctly? I need to actually get the boots. I don't think I got the boots. I had to walk over there. No, it is technically wrong. Because the color is wrong. Okay. So somehow this color... Oh, it's just black. Okay, well, that's why it's wrong. It's supposed to be dark gray. Where is the dark gray? There. And what color is this? 17141E. So I think we just copy this over to here. We should be fine. Yeah, let's go try that. Oh, happy half year, Jesta. Thanks for the daily content. Always enjoy the streams. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm going to test this really fast, and then I want to go take a break. I'm also kind of sweltering right now. I turned off the AC earlier, and I should have turned it back on at some point. Got to make it over to there in 30 seconds. Test this thing. Cool. All right, we got to finish the commit message when I get back then. I'm going to go take my break. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hello, hello. Hey, Crawley. Welcome in. Close the game. So I had not finished writing this commit message. Let's go finish writing this. Used to be a solid black rectangle, and I think it was slightly mispositioned. I changed it to the proper color, had it fade to transparent at the top to reveal the desert background at the right time, and change the size / position so that it was appropriate. I guess technically we don't need any of the bottom of this rectangle though, do we? No, we do. What am I talking about? We don't need the very bottom of it, but we need the top. And yeah. All right, so commit that. All right, so background fill done. Background fill done. Hide the parallax layers from the snowy region. Upon starting the launch sequence in the backtracking platformer, hide the parallax layers present in the snowy region. Why am I even saying it that way? Why even have it try to figure that out? It's easy enough for me to just go find it, right? Yeah, hide the parallax node. That's fine. Parent node's name is parallax. Yeah. All right, so set this to there. Have it do this in a work tree for now. All right, great. So there's this. Entering this from another game causes screen flashes. I didn't see this happen anymore. And I don't know if it was a temporary problem, if this is still going on. I guess let's just start the game normally. Just go into here and yeah, do that. And then we go from here to the other game. I don't think it flashes. But I do think we need a loading screen. Yeah. But I don't want to do the loading screen now. So let's just write this for the next stabilization phase. Loading, add loading screens, yeah. For backtracking platformer as player, there's quite a lot to warm up. So we need to make sure to hide that behind the loading screen and disable input for the player during that time. Well, disable input for player, not the player. So this is done for now. Change explosion sounds to ones of rocks crumbling or cracking. All right, what do we have with rock in the name? Maybe earth. Ah, that's pretty good. That's decent, but it's super loud. They both kind of sound the same. So the first two are good. Yeah, and earth hit. I just copy the names instead of saying the first two. All right, what else do we have? No. What is this? What's it even supposed to be? Maybe an earthquake? Oh, that's very cool. This could work. We'd have to layer it with the other ones. I think the 3 sound effects is probably fine. So this works for the earth section, but I don't think this would work as well for the desert section. Maybe it would. Hey, Shoe Strikers. How you doing? And what was the third one? Earth hit. Yeah. So I want to use all these. Let's go mark as unread. And these need to be inside the downloads folder or temp or something. Earth sounds. Okay. Drop them all over here. And look at the launch sequence. Go ahead and look for explosion. Here it is. So instead of playing sound ID dot backtracking tile, launch tile explosion, play randomly choose one of the attached sound effects. Make sure the volume property in all sound data is set such that the sounds are all roughly the same perceived volume. Analyze the wave files to figure out their peak volumes or their average volumes, average or peak volumes. I don't know if he even knows how to do this. Yeah, there should still be, I will say min pitch and max pitch for all of these should be 0.8 and 1.2 respectively. All right, now let's set that to extra high so it can figure out how to do sound stuff. And then hit start, and then we'll go take a look at this. This should be incredibly simple. Yeah. All right, so let's commit that. Git cherry pick dash n. Okay, so now we should not see the bright blue sky behind the desert. We should have the desert sky, which is a very like dark, cloudy sky. But we should still see the sky in the snowy region. So let's go test all this out. We're just gonna run over here first. Yep. And whoops, I didn't mean to trigger the cutscene. Yeah. Oh, you know what'd be nice? I'll write this down. Meeting sidekick. We should enlarge the question mark graphic. To indicate extreme confusion. Blah, blah, blah. All right. I'll stop that from happening. Hey, nice. You can kind of control the game like this. Then the control stops and we go into 1x speed. All right. Keep your eyes on the sky. Something flickered. Oh, we're so close. Something looked bad there. So close. And there's some flicker at the beginning too. Hey, bug. Do you happen to have the star emoji saved to a keybind? Yeah, I use a Spanso for quite a lot. So long words like organization or infrastructure, emojis, like I type stars or check marks or X's a lot. Or yeah, URLs. I've got tons of different things on here. And yeah, other little symbols that you might want to type. So yeah, my whole configuration is there online if you want to take a look. I use this all the time. Just, yeah, for a lot of different things. The time one? Oh, yeah. The time ones are great. In fact, this is how I check the time nowadays. I don't even like hover the mouse up here all that often. I just like type into a buffer. Oh, yeah, okay, it's 3:07. And then I go on. So you're gonna watch this video. I wrote this down. I went over here. And I said, keep your eyes on the sky. And something flickered here, didn't it? I didn't see it this time. What could have flickered? Huh. Strange. What was that? There's smoke over there? What is that? I think that's smoke. Strange. And then it just disappeared. Maybe that was the flicker I was seeing. Then the camera tries catching up. Takes a while for that. There we go. Yeah, this looked fine. Then something went wrong with the background. I would even be okay with this. I don't know what's going on with the parallax, though. And what is that? What is that? Some like checkerboard. That might be an encoder artifact. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Then that happens. I just wanted to jump on the bandwagon. I thought everyone's doing it. Everyone was anyone. This looks almost right. It's almost there. No, those colors are a little bit off. Yeah, yeah. Ugh. So close. Yeah, it's so far. Maybe we shouldn't worry about the colors. Yeah, who cares? I'm not gonna write that one down. Although it is bothering me a little bit. But yeah, the sky is messed up toward the end. Very Terraria there. Yeah, it does seem kind of Terraria-esque. Hey, crucials. Oh, I see. No, my wife does not care to watch the streams that often. She'll pop in from time to time. But it's usually when she has a message for me. Yeah, we're so close to it. It's just the desert sky looking weird. So this is done. Yeah, we got to check that in. The desert sky still doesn't look correct. All right, parallax regions. Hide snowy parallax while launching. The sky is still messed up for the desert for some reason. I haven't looked into it yet. That was on main? Did I cherry pick this? Oh, I did. I did. Okay. Like, how's that possible? What is this doing? Implemented. Why did it take 6 minutes? RMS normalized volumes. Oh, cool. Boy, then let's have a listen. All right, commit a git cherry pick this. Different colors from the, yeah. Yeah, it's not critical that I fix this. Well, it's not really a critical issue, I should say. All right, so this is the sound change. So now instead of the little explosion sound, which sounds kind of like a rumble, it's going to play like rocks cracking. So I'm going to shut up so that it doesn't duck. And we're going to listen. Okay, that's pretty loud. I don't know how I felt about that either. Very torn about this. I think it should make like one really large explosion sound when you first go through the ceiling, and then it's not until the camera catches up to you that it should make these other sounds. Let me try that one more time, because I think that's what I want to have happen. It is very cool. It's not bad. I guess it does kind of sound like an explosion at first, a large explosion sound. Whoops. What I meant to do. So let me listen relative to the other sounds that we have. Let's like play around for a bit. Whoa. These things chase you, right? No, they stop. Oh no. They don't chase you off the ledge anymore. It's like impossible to kill them. Oh, whoa, whoa. No, thank you, Goblin. Okay. Oh, man. I need a way to skip through this. Oh, you can hit him through there. Wow. Have both of them navigate? Just to be clear, the player's name is Player, not Luna. But yeah. Yeah, it's too loud. It's just way too loud. Although I would say that the chest sound is also too loud. Backtracking. Where's treasure chest? Oh, we don't have anything for that specifically? Oh, item collected. But there's something else. There's like open treasure in here? I don't see that. I only see when you collect the item, which that might also be too loud. Yeah, volume 0.75. I think we're just playing this opened treasure chest or open treasure chest. Yeah, we are. I don't think it's too loud in the loot boxes game. But we need to consider leveling across games too. Maybe the music isn't loud enough. Maybe that's the problem. Yeah, these rocks are too loud though. Is it launching? So loot boxes. It feels too loud. Like every sound effect. But I think it's just I want to turn the sounds down overall. Yeah, I think just sounds overall are too loud. Let me see if that's better. This music is too loud. I don't know, I gotta do a lot of audio leveling. I mean, players can control it, so it's not a big deal. That's fine. Oh, that's quiet. Alright, anyway. Now I go back to here. Yeah, the music could probably stand to be louder. It's too loud. Yeah, that's too loud. Listen to that one more time. Oop, right, can't do that. Goblins. Yeah, the opening a treasure chest sounds like it's a little too loud. And we already lowered this a lot. Is that this sound? BT game open. Yeah, it's just a loud sound effect. Let's lower it down by another little bit. 38. I don't know. All right. So then all the rock sounds that we just added, they're just way too loud. Yeah, 1.57 and 0.35. Let's lower it to... Oh, you know what we can do? We can do the thing I was talking about. Do this. And set... Oh, that does not work the way I want it to. In VS Code would work. All right, we can do this. There. And do times 0.8. And then just evaluate it here. And delete this and this. All right, let's listen to that now. Hopefully this doesn't blow out my eardrums. Yeah. I think it's good. I like it. I'm keeping it. And there's nothing questionable in here, right? What is that? Delete that. totally fine. Sounds good. Yep, they actually use get random element, which I like. This is just a test. I don't care about that. These are the new IDs, and this didn't change at all. Okay, looks good, but what branch am I on? Because I just don't even pay attention to this anymore. I apparently cherry picked this. Yeah, nice. Add better tile destruction sounds. We now randomize between 3 like earth sounds, which sound more like shattering tiles into debris than the explosion sound did. I also leveled, I think I leveled one of these files, which I probably shouldn't have done inside the same commit. Yeah, we just get rid of that. And that. Now there's no also here. But that's when we hit him with the second commit. Balance some sounds. I decreased the volume of a couple of sounds. Okay, done. 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 Oh, wait. Oh, this is not actually done. Fly upper through the dungeon while the camera is frozen. Yeah, this is the start of the launch sequence. And I think something is lacking. Maybe it's just the sound effect. Maybe we should play like a slide whistle. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. Yeah, you just like float off the top of the screen. I think it needs to play a very, very exaggerated jump sound. Jump. So I'm like, that sort of thing. Yeah, like that. I want this sound, but I want it to be like 3 times the length. Yeah. For now, let's just put the sound in the game. Whoa. Okay, let's stop that from ever playing again. Where'd that even go? 32 jump 05. There it is. Hey, Premix. Just pop by to say goodnight. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Have a good night yourself. I have been all over the place today, and I feel like I'm splitting my attention between too many things almost. But it's been a solid day. You're working on this launch sequence. We added a new knight character in. It's been pretty good overall. Okay, so when player starts the launch sequence in the backtracking platformer, play the attached sound effect. It signifies them jumping. All right, just set this to medium. Have this work on the local tree. I don't really care. All right. Yeah, so that was one part of this. The other part of this is when they jump, should there be any sort of smoke trail or something? Not smoke, but wait for it. Yeah, so here. So we just jump. There's no visual effect if you other than them moving upward. If you didn't hear a sound effect here, you'd be like, whoa, they just took off. I feel like some trail behind them. Can you upload that boing jump sound? I want to play around with Audacity. So this was a paid asset, and I'm not going to distribute their paid asset. Sorry. But there are a bunch of things like sound effectser, which actually would probably be even better. I could probably just click this. Whoa. Yeah, we could probably just set a time on this. Like that. So yeah, normally if it were mine, I'd say yes, but I bought the sound and I don't want to distribute someone's hard work. Hey, friends. Yeah, a rainbow trail. So something like that, but not rainbow. And someone earlier suggested we could put thrusters onto the archer and it would make sense for when you're in space too. I don't want to change the sprite though. I just potentially want to add like a particle trail, I guess. Yeah, so I'm thinking something like that. And then maybe it stops when you get into space. Yeah, something like that. Chemtrail, no, contrail. Could potentially work. Just the light white particles beneath the character's feet. Can you be with a shader or just particles? You could do it with either. You can do a lot with particle effects, but they're sometimes hard to manage. But yeah, we'll have to try it out. All right, so implemented the launch sound, and that took 2 minutes. Sometimes I get that it's got to ingest all the context and understand how it's got to make the change, and I just know how to make the change. All right, so let's listen for this. It's so comically short compared to you launching into space. It's like a 0.7 second long sound that plays. All right, we got to add a cheat. This is great. I like this, but we got to add a cheat that puts us next to this so I can actually practice like how a player would. What is this? Resource cache? No, resource loader. Oh, this actually technically does need to be in the cache so that when we play it, it's ready. All right. Yeah, okay, fine. Let's check this in. Play silly jump sound and launching. All right, let's go do a couple things. One, add a cheat that will grant the jump boots and put player back room one. Where is the treasure chest? Right there. Okay, so let's go add in a marker. Marker. And drag this over here. I want to put the player like right there. Negative. I'm not going to remember that. 258. Let's remember that. Cheat is only usable from... No need to check. No need to perform any conditional checks around this, though. All right, grant the jump boots and put player at that. That's all you need. No, actually, maybe we should just give you the high jump boots. So you don't need to open the chest. I don't know. Yeah, let's just start with this. Who cares? Great. And set that to high. And then while that's churning, this is... I wanted to test the jump sound and see how it feels. The new jump sound. And then trail of smoke or dust. All right, so let's do this. In backtracking platformer, I want to add contrails beneath players' feet when they jump for the launch sequence. These would be white, mostly vertical particles emanating. They don't technically go downward. It's that the player's going upward and they're getting created. As the player ascends. These contrails should, like, I don't know, fade out or stop happening. Slow or fade or decrease in strength as player approaches space. Should they stop then? It would look kind of neat to see your players still have them, maybe. How about let's not do anything with this? Yeah. Also, it's been a while since I checked this. 9263. Eventually, it's going off momentum alone. What do space shooters do? What are even popular space shooters? What was that game? Raptor, Call of the Shadows? Yeah. Were there trails behind this? I mean, I guess there were thrusters. Every picture show. Oh, there we go. Where's that pic? Is this gonna stay this choppy? This is the highest resolution they have. Download. Okay. Well, there wasn't anything there. Aero Fighters. I don't think they did anything like this. Although it was Super Nintendo, so they probably wouldn't want to spend the sprite budget on it. No. What are other popular space shooters? All the Toho games or whatever. Never learned how to pronounce it. Space shooter. Yeah, I think we don't. I think we do turn them off. Yeah, yeah. I'm with crucials. I was always with crucials. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Need the contrails to stop when you or need them to slow to a stop as you approach space. Should probably stop just before you're in space. All right, I'll add this too. Is this even still happening? I don't know. And what is going on here? Oh, there's a marker. I need that marker. We should make sure that marker does not make it into those other changes that I had. Make sure there's no random marker in room 1. I made 2 branches while having it in my local changes. So is there a flash of this clear color? It's only right at the very top, and I've stopped paying attention to what happens at the top of this. So let's see if we can spot it. Oh yeah, definitely still happens. When you get to like after you get to space in the backtracking platformer. Okay. Yeah. Implemented the room 1 get jump boots cheat. Where did it implement this? Ah, work tree. Okay. Let's commit this. I would expect this to be pretty much perfect first go because it's just adding a cheat. Cherry pick. And this will let me test the jump sound, so then we can mark both of these tasks done. All right, what are we doing here? Going to this. It's called Get Jump Boots. I just love it. Oh my god, it is so funny to me to hear that sound effect. Like a where you just launch into space. How great. Okay, so this is cheat get jump boots, or like it's more like cheat position near high jump boots. And then where's it called from? Over here. So what should we say this? Prep, like go to high jump boots. That's probably better. Part is really good. The sound sells it for me. You know, we really wanted to. So we can't do this because I think it would ruin the surprise. But we could have like a T-1 lift off, whatever, as a countdown to them getting there. Go to high jump boots, yeah. I wonder if you can jump in the air. Yeah, we still got to fix parts of that, but it's looking pretty good. I mean, remember, none of that existed yesterday. Started working on that last night. All right, this is all fine. That's fine. This is fine. I don't really care about the test for this. Add cheat to position player near high jump boots. Okay. Yep, that's fine. All right, new sound is fantastic. Contrails we're working on. What's the other thing we're working on? Oh, the clear color. Okay. I was just waiting for something else. Yeah, sure. I don't know why it's using the font. Huh, interesting. All right, so right now you're bursting through a non-existent area that we randomly generate from many, many screens, but it doesn't look like actual dungeon that you'd have gone through. The whole point of this is that you're supposed to be going through like real rooms. We should probably just draw the room somewhere, but we need to generate exactly as much as we have over here. So yeah, that's what I should do. I should have AI generate a vertical scene, tile map scene with a dungeon border around the dungeon part, the right dimensions, a dungeon border around the dungeon part, and a desert border around the desert part. That way I can fill in realistic looking rooms. Give me a lot of data. And launch them into space. Yeah. I think in my mind, this is still a really good setup for this. The thing that I keep thinking of here is the high jump boots room in Super Metroid. It's just, first of all, this was great room design, level design. Where's the stupid picture that I know is on this page? Maybe it's not on this page. Man. Yeah, here, this thing. Yeah. So this room, you had to destroy the top part here, and your regular jump could get you here, but then you couldn't jump back unless you know how to wall jump. So you got the high jump boots, and that was like the indication that, oh, now I can get back. Like you understand just from this one room how this works and how you're supposed to use it. Granted, they're called high jump boots, so it's not that surprising. But yeah, this forces you to use it first. So you need to know to hold the button down for as long as you can. And that's why the setup for this room looks how it does. I think a trampoline would undermine that a little bit. Like you see a treasure chest up here and you understand there's a chest down here and you've been getting items that correlate to what you're supposed to do. So you think, oh, okay, now I'll jump up to this and get a second treasure chest. And this is also partially why I put 2 treasure chests in the same room over here. On this side, you can't see them anyway, but there are 2 treasure chests there. And, oh, that does not look good. Yeah, that doesn't look good. So that you are used to like, oh yeah, it's not weird that there are 2 treasure chests right next to each other. I've seen that before. Hey, Ant. Howdy, howdy. Oh, wow. You haven't been to the channel in a very long time. It did not say first time message, but I don't see your original messages. For the second treasure chest at the top, be even more appealing, shiny and all. We could, but I think just knowing there's another item there might be appealing enough. But yeah, we could make every other chest silver and that one gold. But yeah. Also, actually, you know what? This could be the mimic. Because once you make it to space, the mimic is going to show up and tell you that like, hey, you just destroyed my dungeon and most of the desert. You know how much that's going to cost to fix? I want you to get all that money back. That mimic's name, Tom Nook. Actually, it would be hilarious if his name was like Tom Nook or something. It's that. It should chase you up. Yeah, so it does chase you up. It can fly. We got to get to that. I never wrote this down. I didn't write this down. That's weird. Yeah, here it is. Collect all tasks from there. Note the mimic's name could be a play on Tom Nook. Oh my God. Since you find yourself indebted to them. Well, inadvertently indebted to them. Yeah. Yeah, that's the guy who keeps showing in my Twitch notifications. That's the guy. No, so what I was commenting on though is they've been following for 5 years or 6 years, and it didn't show first time message, which means they have typed before. If you've been like casually watching the stream and you've never typed anything, I think it would say first time message when you type your first thing. All right. So this thing thinks it's done. I don't think I liked how it looked, but what changes do I have? Oh, this little thing. New commit. I don't believe it. Yeah, what did they even change? Get status. Yeah, there's nothing. Hope it's not me. What? No, I was talking about you, but not in a bad way or anything. I was just saying you've been following for a while, and you must have typed a message before that because it didn't say that it was your first chat message. But I don't have a record of it because of how long ago that you followed. It's just Twitch exposing this stuff. Regardless, welcome back. Always nice to see people return to the channel, of course. It was just an idle comment, really. No, it wasn't positive or negative, just totally idle, neutral. All right, so now when you launch into space, you have these contrails. It would look better if they were stretched out even more. Yeah. These exist inside the backtracking character. And we have a gradient image that we use. Where did this texture come from? Where did this come from? Spherophoria, thank you for the raid. Hi, everybody. How's SVG land treating you? Because we're SVG free over here. We got an SVG test done. Anyway, deep in the weeds. Oh, man. Well, we are working on some fun stuff over here. I will show it off in just a second. Oh, interesting. There's a curve that's defined right here. Oh, it's done entirely with a gradient. Okay. Interesting. I see. And there's a width and a height here. Yeah, okay, I don't want to touch this stuff. Hate the guy. Yeah, so let me show off what we've been working on for this. This is all part of a larger game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. But this is a collection of sub-games. So the sub-game we've been working on is a Metroidvania kind of game. And you are going to get a bunch of different items. Oh, I don't have this here anymore. Okay. Anyway, you're going to get a bunch of different items like jumping around and wall sliding and being able to shoot arrows and teleport. And you'll get bomb arrows. I haven't made a lot of this stuff, so there's just text here for now. But you're going to work your way over to here in the world. And that's when you find this treasure chest. And inside is another raid. Hey, every game dev. Oh, double platform. Wow, I don't think I've ever been rated on YouTube before. In fact, I should probably start doing that myself with other people. But yeah, welcome in. How's it going? Let me give you a shout out here at least. We don't have to do this on YouTube. Yeah, welcome in, Insane and Rosalani, excuse me. I was just about to show off what we're working on here. But yeah, Hyper Game Dev, if you have a link you want to share that's not just the Mr. D Voice YouTube, feel free to share something. Or maybe this is Mr. D Boy rebranded. No, it's not. Pasted the wrong thing. Okay. Well, you pasted that in Twitch as well. Oh, I couldn't give a shout out there. My bad. There we go. Yeah, so I was just showing this. Let's just restart this thing. I'm working on a game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. And it's a collection of a lot of shorter games. I'll show off just the intro here. So let's customize our character a little bit. Get some blue hair going, green shirt, sure. So this is tutorial number 1. Press B to jump. Wow, exciting. Press B again to double jump, wow. So yeah, we lead you through tutorials like this. You can dash. I mean, at this point, you just think, oh, the game's a platformer. Like, I'm eventually going to get an attack or something, or there are going to be enemies. But you get to this section, and it says try to collect the diamonds in one go. And you fall through the world and through the source code of the game. And the Twitch encoder hates this. And you land in a spooky cavern. So let me make my way over to here. Oh, that's nice of you, Insane Alpha. Thanks. Yeah, I composed the music for this. We're still working through some of the latest stuff. I'll do music tomorrow again too. Anyway, so you're done with that broken tutorial and you make it now into this farming game. And it just kind of looks like Stardew Valley, right? So anyway, you work your way through a lot of the game. And like an hour later, you come to this game. And this is a Metroidvania style game. And I'm going to cheat in all the items, and we're going to work our way over to here. Yeah, you would eventually use your bomb arrows on these walls, but that doesn't work yet. So yeah, you get the high jump boots. And you use the high jump boots. And you launch into space. And this is still a little bit glitchy. And not in the intentionally glitchy way. But yeah, so then in here you'd change this game into a space shooter and you'd find, you know, alien ships to attack. That's a pretty high jump. The boots did say, bring you to new heights. And Game Jam starts next week. Yeah, I'll take a look. I will write this down. Let me put this on my gigantic to-do list that we're just never getting through. Hoo-wee. Watched you before, Skelemancer. Skelemancer. That'd be a good name for the game. Yeah. Yeah, you were probably watching during the Adam Learns days when I was actually aptly named. I used to have the name Adam13531, and I thought, this isn't really good branding, right? Having numbers here. So I changed to Adam Learns. We changed the content. Then I just got back to game dev. Made Skeleseller, working on this new game. Yeah. Do I use Vim or NeoVim? No, I don't. I just like this keyboard. Actually, it's pretty good even if you don't use Vim, because one of the nice things about this is having a bunch of layers. So like whenever I want to move to a different line, use the arrow keys here, my fingers are already in the right spot. And I just hold a different key and press these buttons. So whether or not you use Vim, you now have them right on the home row. Usually don't read game dev. Oh, for the Adam Learns stuff? Interesting. What is it now? Adam forgets things. I kind of wanted it to be like Adam does game dev or something, but I didn't want to lock myself into this in case another few years from now I change again. But I don't see myself changing from game dev anytime soon. This game alone is going to take another 1.5 or 2 years, and I think game dev and gaming will change a lot in the next 2 years. So I'm not totally sure I want to go after that, but probably making another game would be nice. Yeah, Adam takes notes. It's actually not bad. Take note of Adam. All right, well, unfortunately, this always happens when Spirit Warrior raids me, but it's almost always a signal that like it's about time for me to end, and I've been streaming for more than 6 hours today. Our morning stream was at like 4 hours, and this is at 2.5 almost. Adam body doubles. I do like body doubling. Hang on, Phil. Yeah. So yeah, if you're interested in this game at all, I have a Steam page finally for it. So you can wishlist it. There's really nothing on the Steam page. There's a little bit of showcase of screenshots of the different games that are there so far, but yeah, we have a lot more to do. So let's see where we left off here. Yeah, I wanted to expand these vertically. I don't think I've changed anything else, have I? No, I haven't. All right, let me hand this off. So expand the contrail texture vertically so that each one connects to the next one, or just make the particles overlap more than they do. Well, and or. Yeah. All right, that's good. And then fixed space transition. What was this? Single frame of flash. Prepared space shooter was detached before asynchronous dialog cleanup, removing its canvas layer from the render tree for 2 frames. Dialog cleanup now happens first. Okay, I think it's good. Hey, Bruno. I'm doing pretty well, and thank you, Insane Alpha. I'm going to leave with a tip on how to structure a doc where I take notes on a new topic I'm learning. How do you sort things? Leave me with a tip. Got it. How do you sort things? Your docs are quite long. Do I just have to figure that out myself based on my own style? So give me one sec. Let me make sure I'm doing this correctly. Get cherry picked. Because I'm like thoroughly, my brain is fried right now. And I got to make sure I'm actually doing the right thing. Okay, great. Yeah. So I highly recommend some combination of like finding your own style. But I think the absolute basics of navigation are, at least in Google Docs. And there's an analog for this in almost everything else. But in Google Docs is tabs, headers, and lists. And those things alone will get you pretty far. So here, for example, I've got, I mean, this is my to-do list. So I've got the Atom Learn stuff and then non-game dev tasks. But in my design doc, I've got, wait for this to load. I've got these tabs. And then you can always expand one of these to see all the different headers. So for my to-do list, I probably should use even more headers than I do. I just happen to know that whatever's at the top is the important stuff. But I could sort it into headers. I'm actually not sure why I haven't done that more. I only have these 3. I could sort the backlog in like Sidekick and Space. You know what? Maybe we'll start to do that. Make more headers in this to-do list to make it easier to go between the sections that I have. Yeah, sorry, an ad is running. Working on stuck in a broken tutorial. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me now, Bruno, but if you can, I can explain a little bit more via my voice. If you can't, then I will have to type it out and you wouldn't know that I'm saying anything. So yeah, I think this will get you pretty far. And like I said, there's an equivalent in most other programs. So like in OneNote, there were notebooks and then notes and then headers, and you could have lists underneath the headers. I don't think there was something else for sections in there. So yeah, it's all about just a hierarchy of drilling down into your notes and then having a general structure that you keep across notes of the same style. So for example, almost all my game design docs have very similar sections, at least in the main bit of like, what questions do I have? What are my to-do items? What is the stuff that I've settled on so far? And then, yeah, I was going to say other sections that may not transfer exactly. I have a note that I took on doing game design. And I talked about this, like if you were doing game design, good sections would be like an overview, ideas, questions, design, scratch section. So yeah, depending on what you're doing, you might have like, I think an overview is always good. But yeah, to-do items, general questions I have, any data, facts you might have found, and then anything else that makes sense. Feel free to ask more questions. I know I was meandering through that. Like I said, my brain is at the edge of what it can perform anymore. Thinking is for past Adam and hopefully future Adam, but not present Adam. All right, so I haven't actually merged this. Let's go take a look. That single frame flash should be gone. And it is from the end of this. Yeah, you can jump in midair. That's another problem. I gotta stop that. Speed run strat. All right, pretty good. Yeah, looks smooth. So I gotta write down this bug. You can high jump when you're not on the ground, which is only possible right after jumping onto the item. So let's check that in. Fix quick flash of the Godot clear color. Okay. Project planning and now it's learning. Trying to figure out Terraform and it's frying my brain. Your suggestion to figure out comment sections is good. Yeah, I think the question section is really important. I took some Terraform notes a while ago too. I doubt they're all that helpful anymore. When are they from? 2018? Yeah, they're probably not that helpful. And it's also super long. But you can see how I took notes when I was learning Terraform. Maybe just the note-taking style will help. Oh, and this, for technical notes, highly recommend this, having a troubleshooting section. You will encounter errors, and it's very likely you'll encounter those same errors multiple times. So like write down what those errors are and how you fix them. I think that's the most important thing for my technical notes. And if you search for troubleshooting in here, you'll probably find like a million such sections, 154 results. Yeah. So many of my technical notes have them because you run into problems and you don't want to run into problems again. All right. So what was I about to do? There's a clear color. Oh yeah. Fix this. Oh, I am barely hanging on right now. Oh, it uses smart apostrophe. Huh. All right, I should probably push this before I forget. Is that public? Can I have a link? Yeah, it's public. Let me get it for you. There you go. Okay. So this is done. I don't know why I'm still streaming right now. I really shouldn't be. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. This is I've done too much. Yeah, we made a lot of progress. I wrote down my goals at the beginning of the day. Get nights working, start working on the high jump sequence. It'd be great to get into the space shooter. If I can get those done, I can start doing sucky task day again on Tuesday. Did I write that down? Thursday? No, I did not. Friday, do whatever. Figure it out. Journal. Monday, tenets, journal. Tuesday, we're going to resume sucky tasks day now that we've made enough progress with the backtracking platformer. Did I finish that game I was working on? Skeleton Seller? Yeah, that game is done. It's launched. It's for sale. It's gotten a bunch of people playing. We recently had a video by Wally Gug that hit 81,000 views, so that was pretty helpful. But actually, that like hardly, I don't think anyone who bought the game in the last like week left a review. So if you look at the recent reviews, there was a string. Oh wait, no, I thought that was a new one. I was gonna say there's a string of 3 negative ones in a row, which is rather unfortunate, and they all have the same feedback. It's just too short. So I'm like, you know what? It's about time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the short tag as the very first tag here on Steam. I'm like, I have it here in the description. It's been there since day one, like the exact length of the game, but people never read this and then they got mad. And yeah, now I'm like, all right, fine, I'll put it as a short tag or the first tag. People are still probably not going to read that and then get mad. Hey, Ronan, you have a video somewhere of your process for staying organized and focused somewhere, right? Not really. No, I've done some adjacent videos to that about using OneNote and using Obsidian. That might be what you're thinking of. I'm not totally sure. But I don't think they're like super helpful or anything. They're mostly just like ideas for fun. Man, I forgot about the interview phase. I like the interviews. Where are these videos? Yeah, here's one switching to Obsidian, and there's one about ditching OneNote. But that's it. Those are the ones I did. Maybe I've got the links here easily accessible. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to make an organization course and talk about this. And I started planning the content and I realized this would probably take me like 2 months of full-time work. And I just didn't want to spend the time. And now I think AI is changing quite a lot. Like it's probably reasonable, maybe not for retention in your own head, but retention on disk. It's probably reasonable for you to just dictate all your notes and then start asking AI to fetch those notes for you. Hey, Truvian, have you seen or tried to use Open Knowledge? I haven't, no. Open Knowledge. AI native markdown editor. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that I imagine would change quite a lot for people. I'm still wary of doing this myself. I like writing notes from a lot of different points of view. One, like I mentioned, that's sort of short-term retention just by writing something down. Two, just the act of typing and it's very tactile. And three is knowing that they're handwritten. Well, handwritten, I mean, digitally written, but by me instead of by AI. I think that matters as well. But yeah, I think it's probably going to matter less and less. It's like Hepta was just talking earlier about how SaaS has been changing and stocks have been dropping, and it's very likely AI. I think the amount of notes I might feel the need to take because I could ask AI to do something will probably change drastically. It used to be when I learned a programming language that I would write down a bunch of notes about that language. Now I don't even know if I ever felt the need to learn another programming language. Would I fully learn it or just enough to review code? And it's weird. It's just a weird time. Yeah. Hey, Quilly. Lets me refine my thoughts. Yeah, yeah. And that's generally how I've operated. Anyone who's watched the stream for longer than like 10 minutes has clearly seen that I have a ton of notes. So like I operate in text. And it's worked so far. I feel like I'm effective at what I'm doing. May I inspect this capture process so I can stop the hung QA helper cleanly? Yeah, sure. Now it's going to ask, can I kill that process? This could be due to controller issues. So you know what I'm going to do? Engage privacy mode. Give me 1 sec. Let me run something over here. Okay. I said I would stop streaming. Man, this is the problem. I just, yeah, I just am still going. Why am I doing this? Let's speak to Jarvis. Yeah. I made him out of scraps in a cave. Some of my more impressive work. But that's in stark contrast to what you see going on here. But I'll try to tone it down. Okay. This is done. This I don't care about. I want to just wrap up here. 8461. Set player spawns back to this. That hopefully was the case. Did I remember to do that? Room 1. Where is the spawn point? Yeah, it's there. Okay. Sucky tasks day. We got that written down? Yep. Yep. And I don't have... No, this is for today. Downtime stuff. Yeah, like there was any downtime today. God. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm going. Yeah, I'm going. I'm just going to keep doing this if I don't absolutely leave right now. So let's go. Let's go find someone to raid. Spherophoria or Hyper Games, if you're still here and you'd like me to pick a particular raid target, be my guest. Otherwise, I will try to find someone. Whoa, pick the target. Okay, cool. Let's raid this person. And if the... I don't think I've seen them before. So if anything is strange about this stream, you can blame Hyper Game Dev. Anyway, thank you for the raids. Thank you for being here, everybody. I appreciate it. And Hyper Game Dev, I'll check out your stream at some point. Here are some links in case people want them, Discord and Steam. I'll be back online tomorrow. It'll just be a music stream. We're just gonna compose some music, and it'll just be me meandering through music programs. So thanks again. Cheers, everybody. Goodbye. Have a good rest of your day.